So what's going on, guys? It's Captain America. Hope you guys are well, and thank you so much for coming onto this channel. So as always, starting off with the match stats. So for this game we did win 6-1. It was a great performance from the boys. We played very well, both defensively and attacking. Majority of our goals, the 4 goals that we did score, came at the last 15 minutes of the game, so do check them out. It was a very great team playing, let's say, passing football. The way that we were pressing, the way that we were dribbling and just going ahead and attacking and getting in key positions to shoot was just really good to see in this game. You know, the way that the game went, we were winning 2-0 in the first half. Sergio with the first goal. Of course, Sergio with the first goal, you know, he is a very great defender as well as attacking minded as well. Whenever we are having set pieces such as corners, he's a very good, dangerous player for us who majority of the time does score. So well done to Sergio for the first goal. Second goal was from X, who scored the penalty. So that was a great, let's say, ending for the first half with a 2-0, let's say, start for the second half. We had, again, as mentioned, 15 minutes to go, we scored 4 goals. And the way that it went, again, it was a header to X from myself, and then it was a counter-attacking football from that to Manetti, who scored the goal. It was a quick routine, especially the goalkeeper. I'm glad that he saw me, and we progressed from that. The second shot was a deflected shot from myself, again rebounding, or getting deflected, let's say, to Manetti, and then he scoring the 4th goal. The 5th goal was really good. It was a good team play, the build-up itself, and I will be placing this on my YouTube shorts so you could check out the highlights for this game. I tend to do that with most of my matches. You can see out the highlights of those snippets of my best performances for those games, so do check out the team play that we did for this 5th goal, as well as the 6th goal as well. And again, the last goal was for myself, as mentioned. It was a long shot, but again, passing movement, quick passing, and it was good to see Thiago, you know, reacting very well for both the 2 goals that we did see, and Thiago scoring that 5th goal or the 4th goal itself. So, no, well done to the boys. You know, overall, as mentioned, 14 shots compared to 5 from the opposition in total. We did have 59% of the possession. We've been doing really well with possession over the past games. We've been dominating in terms of like controlling the game overall with both possessions and our passing accuracy, so that's been a good pivotal, you know, focus for us, especially as I've always mentioned, we are looking at going into the Pro League. I think from what I heard from Thiago, was that we've applied for the Polish League. I think it's going to be the International or something like that for FIFA 23. But again, we're getting that chemistry, that relationship with the team being built now, and, you know, finding out those key positions for our players. So, you know, I don't mind playing as a centre-back or a cam. You know, I'm flexible as a team player, but no, it'll be really exciting to see how the new season progresses. But again, just to give you a quick update with the lineup from the team. So we had Graham and Ramos as our centre-backs. We didn't have a CDM or a right-back or a left-back. You know, that was just the AIs that were playing in those positions. And then we had Khalil and Thiago as our central midfielders. And then myself, as mentioned, Captain America, playing as the cam. And then X and Manetti up front as our strikers. So, again, a very great performance from the boys. Do enjoy this game. It was a good performance, as mentioned, over the last 50 minutes of the game, towards the end, where we scored 4 great goals. And again, it was just a committed performance from the boys, and we were just pushing on to get more of the goals and just staying as consistent as we can with our performances. You know, with our scoring over the past 5 games or even 10 games, we average around 3.5 or 4 goals in every single game that we usually play with. So, you know, with our concessions as well, we rarely concede goals, depending on who's at the back. If it's just AIs, then of course we're going to concede, but if it's either Sergio or myself at the back, we rarely concede a lot of goals. So, you know, great performance from the boys. We've got over 800 wins, and I think we've lost around 300 or so. So again, a really good ratio from our side for the club, and looking forward to what FIFA 23 brings. So what we're going to be really talking about today, guys, is going to be around the Premier League. You know, the Premier League season has started. We've got really good, you know, performances from, you know, some teams, such as like Brighton yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, Brighton yesterday. I can't remember what day of the week it is. And, you know, they've done a fantastic play. You know, they did beat United. I think it was the last game of the season, or whatever the case is. They beat them 4-0 last season. But again, that was at Brighton Stadium. But this time it was at United Stadium. You know, they got a new manager. They've been talking and hyping up the performances of United. You know, they played amazing football, as they said. You know, 10 ball or something like that. They were saying, look, we're back. United is back. You know, we've beat Liverpool 4-0 in a friendly game where we put our first 11 versus Liverpool, who only put on their, you know, youthful team. And, you know, the great performances that that we saw, you know, in the pre-season, they were adamant that they're going to be bringing it into the main season. And now what you need to take into consideration is, guys, you know, Brighton did lose 2 key players from last season. You've got Cucurella, the left back, who had a fantastic season for them. I think he was player of the season for Brighton, if I'm not wrong. And then also Basuma, who moved over to Tottenham, and who was always rumoured with the likes of Arsenal over the past seasons. And, you know, 2 key positions to lose, and they haven't really, let's say, made that many acquisitions. You know, the type of manager that Graham Potter is, he's a great manager, like, honestly. Don't get me wrong, like, yes, United did lose 2-1, but don't take it away from Graham Potter, man. What he's done with the Brighton team and what he's done with his previous clubs is absolutely phenomenal. He is a man manager, like, he knows what to do to get the best out of players, and he's one of those managers that hasn't had the opportunity to be in the bigger or the big clubs as yet. You know, he's always been around like the middle or the low fiddle clubs. He done a great job with Östersunds. I think he brought them from the Swedish league around like the 3rd division to the 1st division, and then won the 1st division as well. You know, a great manager, and yeah, he's similar to like Eddie Howe. Like, these guys do very well with these middle or mid-table teams, but I think Graham Potter will do a fantastic job with like a big, let's say, team. Even Chelsea, I think he'll get the best out of them, or even United, or even the England national team. Like, he is a great manager, so just keep a lookout on Graham Potter. Like, he is a great manager, and he's one of those ones that is underrated. I could see at the end of this season him going to, I don't know, West Ham, for example, or even Leicester City if they look at Brendan Rodgers leaving. Like, he is a very good manager, just waiting for that step up to, you know, the larger, let's say, teams. But yeah, as you know, let's continue on United and the hype that they were having. Sorry guys, you know, apologies, especially all the memes that I had of, you know, Núñez, you know, being so bad in the pre-seasons from all of these Man United fans. So, you know, it's only inevitable that, you know, they go back to their rightful place, which is being crap. You know, the performance that they had against Brighton, as I've mentioned, you know, Brighton done really, really well. They scored 2 goals. You know, Grouse scored some great goals as well, some good team play building goals as well. And of course, you know, United, who've had a really good pre-season run-up with their forwards, you know, with the likes of Martial, you've got Rashford, you've also got Sancho. You know, these guys were in the prime within this pre-season game. And of course, you know, they didn't even score. No Man United player scored in that United game against Brighton. It had to be an own goal. So, you know, all that overhype that they've done, and, you know, them taking the piss off Haaland as well as Núñez. Man hasn't even made a purchase this summer for the forwards. You know, they got a short midget, a 5'9" in centre-back, who should have given a penalty away. I didn't even watch the United game. I just saw it on Sky Sports and YouTube, just a little highlights. That was a foul, but I don't know if a penalty was given or not. I don't know if VAR checked or whatever it is, but he didn't really have a great game as such with Maguire. I think Maguire personally needs to leave, and then to look at a centre-back partnership that will work with Martinez. You know, he was doing really well against the likes of Vitesse. You know, you got Utrecht, all of these, you know, beautiful world-class clubs in, you know, the Dutch league. So of course he's going to be doing a great job, you know, in the physicality type of league that the English league is. But again, you know, Ronaldo was on the bench. There was a lot of memes because he was like, what the hell, man? Like, he's speaking to Varane and they're like, bro, why the hell do we leave Real Madrid and Juve to come to this dump, man? Like, it's always going to be the same United, guys. Like, you guys don't understand. They've had a turnover with managers so much since Sir Alex Ferguson left. Like, they thought that, I think they should, what they done is, what they really done wrong was the fact that they didn't give a chance to Moyes. Like, Sir Alex Ferguson kept saying, like, Moyes is my replacement, my successor for the United role. And, you know, he was there, but they didn't give him the opportunity to settle in. Like, the Sir Alex Ferguson was there for such a long time. Like, he was there for years, and his start at United wasn't great. Like, he started very rough. But then, of course, once you're there, you're establishing the team, your philosophy, your ideology, and whatever the case is in the back room, you know, your team talks and all this, like, mentoring that you'll start doing. It takes a very long time to actually come across and mature, and we've seen that with the likes of Klopp, for example, at Liverpool. You know, the team that he inherited at Liverpool to what he has now is from like sheer determination and commitment. Yes, he's kept some players such as like Henderson in that mould, but he's bought key players for those specific areas. And what they need to do with Ten Hag is just to let him do what he needs to do, but giving him that support. And that's something that's going to be key. So they made a massive mistake not listening to Sir Alex Ferguson with that Moyes replacement, and he would have gone on to do a good job. You know, he's done a fantastic job for West Ham last season. They've done very well within the Europa Leagues, West Ham, and again they were positioned, they done very strongly this past season just gone. It was unfortunate for their result against Man City, 2-0, but again, it's against Man City that is, supposed to win these type of games. So, I think West Ham again this season will do very well. I think they're going to go ahead of United this season. They've signed that Skamaka, whatever it is, a very tall striker, but the fact is, again, I want to reel myself back in, to Manchester United, because these guys are not going to get off the hook today, man. These guys are going to get dealt with. And I'm in a Facebook group as well, which is funny because it's all about football banter. And it's all clubs there, and it's just pure banter about these United fans. As mentioned, pre-season they were just talking so much. Last season I did not even hear from the majority of them. It was just one lone warrior that was doing a great job in keeping the boat steady for United. And this pre-season, all of them were yapping. They were like, oh my god, we're back, we're going to win the Champions League, the Premier League, we're going to win the World Cup as well. They were overhyping the crap of overhyping, man. And I'm so glad that they got tumbled by Brighton, and Brighton isn't a hard team, but it's surprising that, they did get the result at the end of the day with the likes of 2 key players that were sold over the summer. But the focus for United now has to be on their striker and who they're going to be acquiring. And, they're looking at Arnautovic, who used to play, I think it was West Ham now, I can't remember from the top of my head. I think it was West Ham before he went somewhere else, and I think now he's in Bologna or something. I don't know what it was. I think he's in some Italian league. And again, he's an aged player. They should be looking at youthful signings. I know they were looking at Sesko from the Red Bull, I think it was Salzburg club. And again, he's a 19-year-old, but I don't think anything materialised. And that's something that they need to focus on, is that striker position. You can't give the full responsibility to the likes of Rashford or even Martial, because they haven't done well with the previous boss. He needs to do a very much a cleanse within the team side of things, but man hasn't done anything, Ten Hag, over this, let's say, period, apart from letting Lingard go to Nottingham Forest. And that was it, really. Ronaldo wants to leave. He's been wanting to leave for a while because he based it on the fact there was a lot of things, and the main reason is that he wants to go into the Champions League, be in a Champions League club because of Messi. He wants to sustain that competition and lead. I think it was based on the number of total goals in the Champions League, and of course Messi's much more younger than Ronaldo. Messi's now finding his form, of course, in the Farmers League. Paris Saint-Germain scoring and winning their first game. It was the first game with I think 5 or 6 goals, with Messi doing one of the most funniest bicycle kicks I'll ever see in my life. He didn't gain any height. He did not gain a height that Ronaldo, don't get me wrong, I always take the piss out of United, okay, but the comparison between Ronaldo and Messi has to be that Ronaldo is better than Messi. For me, my opinion is based around that he's a goal scoring machine playing on the wing. Yes, Messi does play on the wing as well, but he's got the flexibility to play as a striker. Plus, he's gone to other clubs, not just stayed with one club, which Messi was doing with Barcelona for many years. Ronaldo went from Sporting, he went to United, United to Real Madrid, Real Madrid to Juve back to United, and he's always been a top goal scorer and, breaking, these really good competitive competitions that they have with the goal scoring records and whatever it is with Messi, and he's always sustained those at such a good age. He's around, I think, 37, 38 years old. And I've always respected Ronaldo for what he's done, because he's had the guts to move to a different complete league where the play style is different. In Juve, the Italian league has always been the case where it's very defensive, and for him to do very well in a very defensively strong-minded league is absolutely insane. And in Real Madrid, of course, he moved at a prime time for him. He done very well at United, but it was a case where he was going to move to Real Madrid at a very, expensive fee at that time as well, and he just absolutely smashed it with the likes of Benzema. He had Modric as well, and just other, key players, Alonso, Sergio Ramos. They had a Galacticos team that they've always had. Now it's going to be a case where Ronaldo's going to be leaving, but he's not going to be playing to the full standard that he is going to be. He came off the bench, or whatever the case is. I didn't even watch the United game, okay? From what I was seeing from the memes, he was on the bench with Varane. I don't even know why a man like Varane is on the bench. He should be playing with the likes of Martinez as centre-back partner, but, 10 ball, isn't it, mate? 10 ball. But no, I'm glad that they lost. They got, I think, Brentford now. Again, Brentford is a tough team to play at home. We've seen that. They did not do too bad against the top 5 or the top 6 last season. So that'll be really interesting to see if they can, let's say, recover and get a win. But I hope that they get relegated. I hope they get relegated with the likes of Everton, because these two just need a little blessing, man, in their lives. Like, they've just been going on thinking that they're top 5, top 6 material in the, let's say, Premier League, but they aren't great. And I just really hope United just go relegation to, I don't know, the Vanrama League or whatever the case is, National League, the lowest league possible, and just don't come out, because a lot of these United fans will just scatter to City, because they are currently, over the past season, the most successful Manchester club. And again, Manchester is blue, guys. So yes, and we are now coming to the end of the video. I do appreciate you guys watching till the end. As mentioned, you know, the 4 goals were banging in it. The 4 goals over the past 15 minutes were just absolutely insane from the boys. But thank you so much as always, and I'll catch you guys on tomorrow's video. And yeah, we're going to be talking about like different stuff, the transfers, seeing who United's going to be going for. Maybe a 40-year-old, I don't know, maybe Ibra is going to be coming back, you know, miraculously. But yeah, you guys catch me guys tomorrow, and I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.